Hello everyone out there in the worldwide website. We're Hack the Dino. I'm Ben. That man there, this guy. You can't hear me on the pug. See me on the pug. You couldn't hear me on the pug. That's Dan.
You said the pog?
Yeah, probably. I also said hear and see. So, you know, if we're going to call semantics.
Do you remember pogs?
I do.
They were great.
They were. You gave me a whole bunch of Dragon Ball Z ones.
No,
they were awesome.
They were Tarzos.
Oh, sorry. There's a difference?
I don't know.
Actually, there is, because I don't remember Pogs. I remember Tarzos.
That's Brayden, and we're Hack the Dino, your fortnightly nonsense variety show. This is episode 66, and we've got a lot to talk about on this episode.
66.
There is a new Harry Potter Go game coming out.
Oh.
Is streaming the future of console gaming.
Oh.
And how we would fix F3. That sticky F3 button on our computer. I want to know how to fix it. E3, the Electronic Expo Exhibition.
Oh my god. Great start, guys.
You can watch us over on YouTube, where we have lots of other different videos. You can hear us on SoundCloud and on iTunes and Spotify. And very, very soon, we will be streaming live up on Twitch once the internet corrects itself here at the studio. Just look up Hack the Dino on any of those things, and you can find our smiling faces, unless you're listening to the podcast.
Or you can just check the comments down below for all the links.
If we put them in.
They're always there.
We're also brought to you by Greenlight Comics and King Kaiju Collectibles, but we'll be talking about them a little bit later on.
A little bit later.
A little bit later on, Dan. Nice. So, Dan, what have you been playing with those hands?
I'm always drinking when you ask me that, eh? Every week, having a sip. I've been playing on the Switch. I got Toe Jam and L Back in the Groove.
Right.
So for those who don't know what that is, it is a remake of the original Toe Jam and L, which was originally, I played it on the Mega Drive. I'm not sure if it was on anything else, actually.
So this is the old game that we're seeing now?
No, this is the new game. Brayden, I've got switch over to the old game if you can.
You got it. I'm going to cut back to there just in case.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wow.
Well, I can hear you.
Yeah.
There it is. Oh, it's a map. So this is the original Mega Drive one. So they've remade it. I think it might have been like a Kickstarter one or something like that. I didn't look into it heavily. I just got it on the Switch. You can get it on the download store. It's only like 20, 21 bucks, something like that.
Only.
Australian?
Only.
So yeah, go back to the real one, Brayden. So this is just to give you guys an idea of what it was and then what it has become.
Well, you don't need to worry, because it looks like it always was trash and has continued up that fine tradition.
Clearly, Ben doesn't like it. So
Hey, Dan, what is this game?
So yeah, so that is one of my points that I had with this game. It is a great redo of the game. It is just a straight redo.
Made by a clear flat earther.
Yeah. It's made by
there he is. That's the flat earther there.
I think he's a rapper.
With the club.
I think he's a rapper that did the original, and he came back to do this one. So all the music's got beats in it. The music in it, number one, is awesome.
Right.
Like the new
really?
remake. Yeah, it's heaps
I
good.
heard the music before, and it sounded like an 80s porno.
Yeah, it's kind of what it is. It's wicked. So you got the graphics upgrade, obviously. Not much has changed, kind of. Like, it's just the same style of game. They haven't, with this Earth. This is Earth, apparently.
Yeah, flat Earth.
So what you do in the game,
it's the truth.
For those who don't know, your ship has crashed.
Yep.
And you're trying to find all the bits of your ship. It's
that's the ship there. Oh no, sorry, it just looks like ship. Continue.
So it's fully influenced by stuff like Bill and Ted. Oh, they're like a little elf up there. Influenced by Bill and Ted. So you've got an elevator, like a cosmic elevator that you go up between the levels, each level. And if you fall off the edge, you actually fall down to the level before. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. Change views.
Yeah, wow. Let's get a closer look at that
He's
single
sneaking
dimension.
I suppose it's not as good as a... this is on Nintendo, Ben.
Yeah, it wasn't made by Nintendo though, so...
Yeah, it's made by a real company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So
Okay, Dan.
some of the things that I don't like...
Just keep going for that low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. Like Nintendo. So... The thing that I don't like in the... you can see here the... what is this thing called? The elevator. The load screen in this is nowhere near as good as the old load screen. See here, it glitches.
Jeez. Oh,
turn it off. That hurt my eyes.
Yeah. So it's not as good. The old loads... Look at that guy playing the game. They have upgraded all the baddies and stuff. So a lot of these guys that guy was in the original one. And but that guy obviously on the phone wasn't in the original one. They've used a lot of the same sounds. The sound, what are they called? Bites?
Sound effects.
Sound effects from the original one, which was what I think what people liked about Toe Jam and L the first time around, because it was very it had a lot of speaking in it and stuff like that. And back then there wasn't much talking in games.
It was
and
like
stuff.
this.
Yeah, we just had these really crisp sound bites of like money or boogie woogie 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 and stuff like that. But the problem I find with this game, which is what Braden brought up before, is that
Everything.
people are not who haven't played the original game are not going to care about this game. It has it's relying heavily on nostalgic dudes like me to buy it, which I did, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I actually found it really, really fun. It's not. There's like an easy level, which makes it you can finish it quite easily, and you have but then you have the normal one as well. I know. So yeah, for someone like Ben who hasn't played it and can't appreciate anything that he hasn't grown up with, it is not for them.
Oh, no. I just want to bring up the fact that I'm constantly being lambasted by you about enjoying kiddie-like games. And then we've got here
This isn't kiddie.
colouring within the lines.
This is all
the game.
That is a good analogy. Yeah, I suppose. But this is like more of a nostalgia one for me, coming back. And they've tried to bring Toe Jam and L back before, and it hasn't worked. But this is a good,
better
good
luck
version.
next time.
Yeah, it's got solid 90s and 80s all through like all the gaming websites and stuff like that. So that's alright with me. But yeah, just wanted to show you that one. I've been playing that. I probably won't play it next week, but like that's all I've been playing this week. Apart from just been smashing Metro, but I'm not going to talk about that again.
Yeah,
but
that was.
But
good
Metro
game,
has gotten great.
Yeah,
it's changed up. I'm in a desert now, so it started in snow, and now I'm in a desert. But I'm not going to get
ice
into
cream everywhere. A couple of cherries.
No. But anyhow, let's go on. That's all I've been doing.
Okay. Well, I mentioned that Season 8 of Fortnite started, and I got the free Battle Pass, so I was going to make it my goal this season to try and win a Victory Royale in Fortnite. And I'm pleased to report that hasn't happened. I still suck at this game.
What's a Victory Royale? Is that just winning the
when you win the match?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, I've still come second and get obliterated. I've got old man reflexes. I can't build. I don't like my chances.
This
of
clearly
winning.
isn't you playing here. This person's going great.
However, what gives me hope is that there's rumors of a ranked mode.
That means so bad dudes will play bad dudes.
Yeah, and that's my ballpark.
So it's not ranked.
No, this is everyone. This is free for all.
That's
although
heavy, man.
I did have a situation the other day where I was with a sniper rifle and I was hiding and I was just picking people off and got 3 in a row. And I was sort of like in this crack of a rock near the lake. And
it's a good spot.
It was like no one could see me. And this guy comes running past me, stands in front of me and builds a fort right in front of me without knowing I was standing directly behind him.
Nice.
And I thought, what do I do? So I just got my sniper rifle, went really close in the middle of his head, and just blew him away. It was great.
They're those golden moments in the online gaming. I remember like a Halo 3 when you just spawned behind a dude. He's just standing right there. And he's like, bang. You get a kill.
Anyway, Season 8 of Fortnite's really cool. I really enjoy it, even though I'm really bad at it.
Can you fire yourself out of cannon?
You can.
Is that purely for...
cannon.
I've never seen that before. Is that Season 8 stuff?
Yep. The Pyro Ship's all Season 8. I've also been playing. I discovered I've got a lot of platinum coins or reward coins for the Club Nintendo. And I thought, I'm going to have a look how much I got. I had like 600 or something, and they expire at the end of the month. So I thought, well, I'm going to use these free coins on something. But you can't actually redeem anything good like you could with the old Club Nintendo system. So they had a discount on some old Game Boy games. And I remember playing this game, which you can see right now, Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins. So this was the very first game to have Wario in it. He was the baddie. And I actually forgot how awesome this game is. I remember graphically for the Game Boy, this is a Game Boy game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never heard of this game. And I'm like, this is a pure Mario game. This is
it
great.
is. It's almost like it came out after Mario
3?
World. Yeah, Mario 3 and Mario World.
Yeah, because you can see Mario's style is that like after the vibe. It's got the
overworld as well. And then the subworlds as well. But it's almost like a mashup of Mario 3 and Mario World. It's a really cool, fun game. I forgot how awesome it was.
What's he doing?
He's
going back.
He's
and
Game
forward.
Boying. It's just a really cool, fun game. The only thing is, they've slightly changed the jump physics. So, like, if you're holding B and dashing and jump, you float a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a little bit floaty controls. But once you get the hang of that, it's.
As in, they've changed it in this version?
Yeah, just this game. For this
just
game.
this game.
Just this
but
game.
the original game had that float physics.
No.
Oh.
Just for this game, they've changed the float physics.
Wait, just for the Switch or?
No, sorry.
That's what I mean, yeah.
I
The
misunderstood.
overall game.
Yep.
The overall, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So he's not
So
going
it's
up
more.
and
So
getting
it's a little bit more like the princess in.
kind of, but not as much.
No, yeah, that was gnarly.
They've sort of
Such a
grabbed
cheat.
all the really cool parts of Mario 2, Mario 3, and Mario World and put them all in this game, and it's freaking awesome. So if you have like, I think it's 60 platinum points, which everyone should really have, you can get 40% off of it. So it's like $4 on the DS
I
store.
thought, like, when I was researching this, I found that hack of the color version of it, and I was just like, man,
It's a cool game. I
they
really
should bring
enjoy it.
that color version out because it looked great.
I'm even thinking of just going back and getting all the old Game Boy games and putting them on my DS before that system dies entirely.
Smart.
But yeah, really, really worth your time. You should go and have a look into it. Should we move on to the news? Because we've got a fair bit to get through this episode, as per
Nah.
usual. As per usual.
Let's just leave it and go home.
Sounds good. Okay, so coming up first, Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield news. There's been some rumors lately that the evolution, or the next step of evolution we will see in these new games are almond Pokemon. They're all made of nuts and
Armoured.
give yourself allergies. You can see there the big almond Charizard.
This is obviously an artist conception. 'Cause
Yeah.
look at that fire on this. Oh, you can't see it on the screen. 'Cause-
Oh wait, there you go.
Armored Charizard. So rumors are that Meltan, the metal mythical Pokemon, which was introduced in Pokemon Go, will play a part in the next main series game and will have an evolution step. So your Pokemon or selected Pokemon can have armor in them, and I'm assuming gives you boosted stats, just like the Megastone did. What I'm really, really happy about is that they've registered Armored Mewtwo. And we can see some footage here from the very first Pokemon movie, which, incidentally, they're completely remaking in CG, and it looks
Yeah.
really freaky. We never got this version of Mewtwo in any of the games for the past 25 years. We never got Armored Mewtwo, and it's one that I've always wanted because he looks badass. That's him without the armor.
That's its Mewtwo.
That's just Mewtwo, but with the armor, man, he looks awesome. So I'm very, very excited. There, look
he
at
looks
badass.
like he looks like some
A
sort of
mech.
Gundam thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
look at him.
This is pretty badass.
It looks great.
As
So
a-
Look at
as
this.
a-
He goes all Akira. Look at that. That's such an Akira thing. That glowy
Yeah.
outy ball, and then look at that power.
As a little kid, that was the coolest thing ever.
yeah, he's awesome. Anyway, Armored Mewtwo, we're hopefully going to be getting him. So I'm very, very excited about that. Something else to be not so much excited, but curious about is that Gym Masters, a tweet went out from Nintendo earlier in the week. It was Nintendo of America. And in this tweet, which I think we have around here somewhere, Braden,
Oh yeah, I do.
it said something along the line. Oh, here it is right now. In Pokemon Sword and Shield, gyms in the Galar region are now bigger than ever.
Yay!
what-
Finally.
What types of gym masters? Now that's a proper noun. That's a name. Are waiting for you to challenge. Usually we have gym leaders in all the games,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Is that,
so
is
they've
that,
changed it to gym masters, which
or
kind of
this guy
suggests...
just wrote it wrong?
Well, no, it's the official Nintendo of America.
Yeah, but
That'd
didn't
be
they
pretty
get?
funny,
But didn't they
though.
get rid of it?
Yeah, straight away.
So they probably went, dude, you just wrote so many wrong things. Just get rid of it.
But now, yeah, 4chan's up in arms about it. But it's
Oh,
it's
no.
maybe... Yeah, I know.
We love you, 4chan. Don't DOS attack us.
They don't care. We'll tag them. So yeah, it's hinting at maybe they're changing up the gym system again, which is good. I really enjoyed the Alolan gym trials, and hopefully they're getting rid of the puzzle element here, and instead you like run a gauntlet and have to go through a couple of trainers or something.
Look
That'd be
how
really cool.
look how badass that trainer is. Just there, like, just there, like he's walking into the stadium. He's got his favorite tune playing. You know they have the walk-in songs.
Yep.
What's it called in wrestling?
Entrance theme.
Entrance
music.
theme. What do you reckon his entrance theme is?
Uh,
Is it Linkin Park?
Life becomes so numb.
Yeah, it's that clearly.
It's not. I wanna be the very best.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not that. It could be a Bleach opening. They have good music. Anyhow.
Yes, that.
All right, Florence. Florence, a sensational mobile game that came out last year, has been nominated for a couple of BAFTAs.
With a bing.
With a bing.
No one heard that.
You can see footage here. This is just type of the ingenuity that the Mountains game development company came up with, and it's been heralded by many people. Dan, you've played this.
I played it to the end.
As did I. It takes you about 20 minutes.
28.
Speed run. It's more of a motion comic, really, an interactive motion comic rather than a game. But either way, it's really touching, really beautiful. Braden, what do you think of it?
I absolutely goddamn loved it, and so did all of my family who I forced to play it.
Yeah, I made my daughter play it.
Yeah.
She thought it was stupid.
Aw,
Because she doesn't understand love.
Oh, ouch. Ouch.
I showed it to my grandparents, and they absolutely adored it.
It is cute. She is a very cute looking character. Look at that. Look. Oh, yeah, I said something.
Anyway, good luck to the whole Mountains team. Hopefully they can bring home a BAFTA. Ken Wong, who was it's his company who made it. He's the owner of Mountains, was the lead art designer for Monument Valley, which is a fantastic game as well. So hopefully they can find much success. And next time Ken is in Adelaide, I've been told we can get him on.
Oh, nice.
So that'd be awesome.
I like that you're just playing with a Vegeta doll.
Yeah, well,
like
there's,
off camera,
there's
like,
toys around. I'm just...
just playing with it, you know.
We were talking about at the start of the show how I have more fun setting up this set.
We're also talking about that there's so many toys in our show now. Go to the full screen, Braden. Look how many toys. Are they getting higher every week?
Yeah.
Is it soon going to be like at the end of the show, it's going to be like this for a while? We're going to be like, oh, hi, guys.
It's rad. People love it.
For those on the podcast, I was doing a joke.
Visual gags.
Happens once in a while. A render of the Google controller patent for their rumored streaming system called Project Steam has been released. Now, we can see on the screen here, this is the patent that they released. And Braden, can you bring up the render that someone made?
No, you didn't give me that.
Didn't I?
You gave me this picture twice.
Ben, I cannot bring that up even if I tried.
Okay, so someone rendered this into a visual. You can see it on the Hack the Dino page.
So this one here,
yep.
This controller looks very much like the Ouya controller. Do you remember that? Actually,
yeah.
I've got one right here. Wait up.
It also looks really uncomfortable. I mean, if you look at where those...
flat.
Look at the thumbsticks. Like, you have to reach over that thumbstick in order to get the controller, the buttons.
Yeah.
I said I had one, but I don't. But yeah, it's got that flat top to it, and then like it just looks very much like the Ouya controller. For those who don't know what the Ouya was, it's a
failed device.
It's an Android console that was like this big.
That was purchased by Facebook.
Oh,
I said MySpace.
It's purchased by
GeoCities.
There's a GeoCities joke in Wreck-It Ralph too.
Stop talking about the movie I haven't seen. So, there was a render that came out. People thought it was real. It wasn't. It was fake. However, the GDC, which starts next Tuesday, so in 4 days' time, as we record this, there is heavily rumored that the Project Steam will be revealed by Google, and it will just be a streaming box like Netflix for games. Braden, do you want to bring up the picture very quickly of Dan's streaming Netflix-like
yes, I can.
picture?
So this is our streaming setup.
I didn't understand what this article was about. I thought it was about, is gaming going to be all about streaming, like online Twitch streaming? So I got a picture of a stream studio, and Ben's like, that's not what it's about.
That's not what we're talking about.
I still don't understand what the article's about, what we're talking about.
You know Netflix?
Yeah.
How you have a device that plugs into your TV and your internet, and you go into there, and up comes all these things which you can choose to watch.
Oh, okay. You mean like that?
Take out those movies and put games there instead. That's what I mean by streaming games.
Okay, yeah, so I got it wrong. Bring the picture back up, Braden. It's a good setup.
It's a good setup. I'll give him that.
And announced just before, I still can't get over this, Google is making the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons compatible with Google Chrome.
Oh, I didn't actually get a picture for that, but yeah.
Well, no, it's like literally an hour or so ago before we started recording.
Yeah, right. So,
Which makes me, what is going on?
You're gonna be able to play that that Dino game that pops up when you search Hack the Dino.
That's right.
so it seems these days that lots of gaming companies are just mushing and merging together,
Yeah.
working together.
And
Which
it's
is
awesome.
weird, because wasn't that we talked about last show that you can get Xbox Live on a Switch?
That's heavily rumored, yeah.
That's weird.
And our Google Chrome,
Xbox Live Switch can't handle some of those games.
well, it's going to be streaming, so you'll be playing it on the
what's
cloud.
going
So
on?
all the Switch needs to do is connect to the cloud, which brings me to my next topic. Xbox are bringing out the Xbox One S digital-only console, rumored to be out in May, which is a smaller Xbox One S console, no disk drive. It's diskless. It's a diskless Xbox.
Diskless.
There's no disc. It is without disc. It is a big old diskless boy.
Oh, we've got the render of the Google Play.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah, that
Awful.
thing looks.
But
like...
it's also fake. So anyway, back to something that isn't fake.
Yeah, that's true.
Coming
It
out
isn't
in
real.
May. Coming
just-
out in May is this diskless. So it makes me wonder, while you may be in America or someplace that has awesome internet, here in Australia, we have rubbish internet, don't we, Dan?
Oh man, we can't even stream our show. That's why we're not live now.
Yeah. So if the whole industry moves towards the streaming side of things, if it all becomes like a mass Netflix type deal, does that mean we're in trouble? Does that mean people in countries without really awesome internet, what do we do?
What are they going to do?
We're all going to be diskless.
I already am. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yes, we will be in trouble.
Yeah, like I'm trying to work out.
You
where
don't
we are.
understand this
I'm trying to
whole
work out where we are in the news. I've lost my
discussion
thought.
topic, do you?
Oh, wait up.
We're talking about streaming consoles, Dan. Anyway, it's a bad idea. Don't do it. Keep
Yeah.
bringing us physical copies.
I have no good internet, so please no.
Well, I mean, I've got what was that that PlayStation Portable one that was only online and it just bombed. What was that one called? And it flipped up in the front, like there was one before Vita.
Yeah, what was that one?
Yep. Go.
Go, yeah.
Yeah, you paid. Yeah, who talks about them? And that was Sony having a big, go at the. Oh, great.
Why are you trolling us, Braden?
I'm sorry.
The NBN. The NBN isn't even that good either.
No, this is how rubbish, no, we're not getting into that. We're moving on.
This. I'm
That's
sorry.
too political.
Octopath Traveler have announced a prequel for Apple Internet Operating System. Tim Apple designed it himself.
Good on Tim.
Does anyone understand? No. Okay. Anyway, there's going to be another Octopath Traveler. It's a prequel. It looks just as beautiful as always. Only being released in Japan at the moment, but I'm sure it'll come out here.
Do you know what? It just looks like it was on a phone.
Yeah, for smartphone.
Oh.
Yep.
In
Japan.
It just looks like Octopath Traveler,
Yep.
which was a beautiful game and an awesome game when I was playing it at the start. But as it went along and along and along, the grinding, I just lost interest.
Yep.
And I reckon I've mentioned that before. Look at that snake. Hey, you can see it.
Wow. They've upped
Oh,
the
there's
graphics.
8 people there.
Cool. This looks rad.
You couldn't have 8 people before, could you?
Well, I think only 4 of them are actually parts of your party. I think the other ones are ones you can call in.
Oh.
Look at giant.
Oh,
that
no,
man is.
they're coming in.
All right, Shenmue 3 got a new gameplay trailer. Now you've played the other Shenmues. Shenmue?
Filet Chamion.
Yeah. I'm not impressed with this game. I wasn't when I first saw the trailer.
So the problem with here's the problem with Shenmue. When it came out, it looked amazing.
Yep.
Like you could walk around, 1970s, 60s Japan.
Where was the first one out? Back in PlayStation 2?
I had it.
PlayStation 2.
I had it on Dreamcast,
Okay.
which at the time was a bit more powerful than the old PlayStation 2. But
Look at the light in the eyes. That's ridiculous.
look at that guy.
The designs are fine. It's like,
But do you know what though? This game doesn't look any better than the Dreamcast one.
well, that's my point. Like, this is a PlayStation 4 game. That's the end of this current gen. And
But
this
it
is what
looks
they're
like
bringing out.
I feel they've made a decision to make it. We don't want it to pull itself apart too far from the actual one, so we're going to make it look exactly the same, even if the characters are like, what's going on?
There's a fighting scene towards the end which just looks
want me to skip to
ridiculous.
it?
Oh, if you can find it, we haven't marked it out. But if you haven't had the opportunity yet,
Yeah,
look at
it-
that! Look at that! It's
If you're
like Tekken.
No,
Tekken
it
1.
it looks like Dead or Alive.
It does.
Look,
It's rough.
oh, oof! No, thank you.
The problem with this is like this game is far too long. Like far too late.
Yep.
I would say, what is it? 15 years?
Something like that.
15 years is too long to know the end of a story.
And because it was a Kickstarter as well, a very successful Kickstarter for reasons, earned over $1 million, I think. It's taking its time to come out, and we are very rapidly coming towards the end of this current generation, and it may not have any relevance or be able to jump up to a PlayStation 5. So,
Yeah.
Not well, at least.
no.
I know, yeah. I mean, I would have liked to have seen it just looking awesome. Like, oh, I want to explore that world, that being able to explore it again, you know? Like, but no.
In other PlayStation news, PlayStation 4 had a update the other day where you can remote play your PlayStation games on your mobile. Now, in the show notes I left for Dan, I said Spider-Man on iPhone,
So I got this picture of Spider-Man on an iPhone.
as opposed to having gameplay footage of someone playing Spider-Man on their iPhone.
I like that picture.
It's good.
I'm standing by it, eh? Like,
That's fine. It's a great
makes
picture.
sense.
It does make sense, but maybe next time you actually want to read the news articles that we're going to be reporting on.
I just did this week, so I was late in getting it all together, the footage.
Speaking of mobile phones, Harry Potter Wizards Unite has been announced by Niantic, a little game company that made a little game called Pokemon Go. They've been working on this for a couple of years, and now we have a teaser trailer. Basic principle here is that you are a wizard coming to our world and capturing little wizard relics that are roaming
Wizard
around.
World at risk of exposure. We need your help.
Yeah,
You're
so
a
the
wizard.
Was there a golden snitch just floating in a street just then? The thing from...
Did you listen to what I just said? Parts of the wizarding world are leaking into our world, so you're a wizard and you have to jump in and...
Oh, okay, so that was the bit
Catch
that
them.
leaked in. This is a weird bit.
So this is the overworld map, a little bit different from Pokemon Go, and that's one of the, it's one of the creatures.
What is that?
He's a monkey boy.
Is that just a photo, like, as in, like, it's overlaid, like Pokemon
I
Go?
think it's a proof of concept.
Yeah. So he's got his little lock there, and slightly different to... I don't know why that spider's wearing a roller skate.
Because that's how Ron gets over the fear of the spider by making it have roller skates when it comes out of that cupboard.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that was out of the best one.
Look at Ron's eyes there. What drugs is he on?
He's not looking at the spider. There must be something more exciting than a roller skating spider.
He's
behind the
looking at us. He can see through the veil. Quick, kill it with fire.
How good is it that there's... Oh, what's this?
Oh, it's our next
Alright.
news item. Thanks, Braden.
Spoilers.
Oh, well, anyway.
I like the idea
rubbish.
back in that thing that there was just a cupboard in the middle of a park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one paid any attention. You get a little teaser just before, but Hollow Knight have announced a physical edition of their game.
Nice. Good one, guys.
We can see on the screen now the
And
deluxe edition, which is $69 US. You get the game, you get an art book, you get a map.
That
You
map
can
is
see it all.
dope.
The whole thing's amazing. I
You
went
know-
to pre-order.
You know what? You really need that map, eh? That
Yeah.
Game,
Oh,
like,
really? Yeah.
You really need it.
I went to pre-order it, $69 US, so it works out to about $80 Australian. But then the real kicker is postage from Toronto is about $50 US.
Jeez.
And
This is the price of the game.
we're currently recording in Adelaide, South Australia. Team Cherry is based in Adelaide, South Australia. We've
Us-
had them on the show before.
Ask them for one.
Well, I'm going to ask, is there a easier
Cheaper
way
Is it
to
a
purchase
brooch?
one? Yeah, it's a brooch, yes.
That's cool.
I love brooches. Not enough people wear brooches these days.
Because it's not the 1820s.
Nah, man. Brooches are going to come back. It's the new thing. All the hipsters will have, like, coffees and brooches.
Speaking of a comeback and the new thing, those things come smashing together as a new Castlevania collection has been found leaked by the Australian Classification Board.
Love them.
They finally do something right.
But they leaked it.
Yeah, well, they rated the game. They rated the game PG or something before anyone knew that this was actually a thing. So apparently, the first 3 Castlevanias are coming out soon in Australia.
This is just the first one we got up here, obviously.
Yeah.
Are they going to be rejiggered?
No, they'll be straight ports. I'm pretty sure.
Flat out port.
Yep. I mean, you can get the first 2 on the Super Nintendo Mini console and then Nintendo Mini console.
You can get every game on everything now.
Yeah, but you know that's fun. That's some news. Okay.
Siri thought so.
Yeah, great. So that's it for the news. So at the moment, I'd like to discuss with you our Lord and Savior, King Kaiju Collectibles. King Kaiju Collectibles came from the sky, in which he brought us many blessed things of the plastic variety, and also of the gaming. Dan.
Variety.
That's the word you're looking for.
Shadowgate, volleyball, and some other Japanese stuff that I have no idea how to play.
Ugly man, beard man.
King Kaiju Collectibles. If you've got money you don't want, he'll take it.
And give you plastic.
Look at Shredder there. It's just like,
Shredder.
you get the touch. And Dan, Greenlight Comics, proud sponsor of our show, Hack the Dino. Tell us a little about Greenlight Comics, Dan.
Well, Greenlight Comics is my comic shop that I own. You can see it here in Adelaide in 18 Stevens Place, just off Rundle Mall down the side of the Maya Centre. We sell comics, graphic novels, a plate of Akira apparently.
A human being strung up on the wall.
And other comic books and stuff like that. See you soon. That ad wasn't long enough.
Yeah, it was. You explained it a bit.
I did a little bit.
What was that? See you soon on the end.
See you soon.
See you soon. See
That's
you
it.
soon, comic fans. Excelsior.
That's our new motto.
Is it?
Dinosaur hat.
Hack the dinosaur.
See you soon, guys.
Oh.
Anyhow,
God.
let's we digress. Let's keep going. What's happening?
I think we're dying, not digressing. Topic of the show time. I don't know if you heard this, Dan, but EA have pulled out of E3.
Yeah, right.
So, realistically speaking, the big 3 of pretty much every E3 show are your Sony, your EA, and your Xbox. Sony's already announced that they're not going to be there. EA has now announced they're not going to be there as well. Leaves Xbox. Xbox, Phil Spencer has gone on record saying that they had 2 choices, whether just to go in softly and capture the audience, or go in 1000% hard and try and just encapsulate the market dominance they have for E3. So that's what they're doing. They're going in hard. But it makes me wonder, why are Sony and EA pulling out? Are you snickering at pulling out?
No.
Okay. You've got EA and Sony who, let's face it, we're at the end of a generation.
Yeah.
Very, very soon, the next gen is going to come out.
Yeah, and they've probably got nothing good to show as well.
Well, I mean, I still think Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, all those types of games are destined for next gen. They're destined for the PS5 and Xbox Scarlet. So, I mean, the Sony conference last year was rubbish. It was confusing. It was long. They didn't have enough stuff to fill in that hour.
It's true.
And, you know, rather than spend $200,000 on a booth to set up, maybe they just took the loss for the year and decided it isn't for them. This may have allowed EA to actually do the same and not look as bad.
Yeah.
Maybe save some money. They haven't had a whole heap of stellar hits lately. Anthem's come out very poorly. They've had a hit with what's the other one? Not Anthrax. What's
Apex.
it called?
Apex Legends.
Had a hit with
Anthrax Legends.
Send it to all their So yeah, they haven't had a huge hit apart from that one. Battlefield's yet to be seen. So again, maybe they don't have a lot. They're tied up with, they can't announce any Star Wars titles because that is obviously going to happen at the Star Wars conference, which comes in a few months.
Celebration.
Time. Star Wars Celebration.
Yep.
They did confirm they were going to actually reveal what Jedi Fallen Order is.
No, they confirmed. They revealed the reveal day.
That's it.
They revealed the reveal day.
It'll be at
It's
Celebration.
Ooh, look
Getting
at that.
stupid.
Lego.
So again, did EA just not have enough to fill in a whole hour conference? Now, was there conference last year with the esports, and it was like just cringeworthy that there's 2 commentators.
Yes. Yep.
Again,
The mobile game.
yeah, not the
Oh,
strongest
God.
showing. So it makes me wonder: is E3 dying, or is it these companies are now finding other ways to get their point across?
I think they're all there's different ways that they're approaching it, the companies, and they're like, well, you know what? Like, to tell the truth, I don't actually concentrate that much on E3 ever.
no.
Like, I concentrate more on the gaming awards, whatever, at the end.
Yeah.
More than E3.
Because they're entertaining.
Yeah. That time Neil Patrick Harris was on it. It was the most embarrassing thing in the world. Oof. Anyhow. Yeah, I just think they're going different directions and stuff like that. And so a lot of them are like, and a lot of them are just doing their own things.
Yeah.
Like, why go to E3 these days and announce something when you can Twitch live it out to the world, like just via your own, like, you know, Sony can do it via their own.
Well, how many
thing.
times have we seen at E3 someone demoing something and the game crashes? Like, or that you have one of those embarrassing moments. Whereas Nintendo have just hit the nail on the head, going, "Yep, okay, here you go. Here's a half-hour direct, and everything's pre-recorded. It's all cut. It's all polished. Everything works perfectly, and it builds the fever pitch. And you can release it like that. There's no hype. We talked about hype being the killer. Of games.
Hype's the killer.
Like, look at Anthem. It was hyped to all buggery, and now people aren't excited about it because it hasn't lived up to that.
And then look
hype.
at Apex Legends that just came out with no hype, and it's like, hey boys,
ding 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 ding,
because no one has time to get an idea of what it's going to be like, and they don't have time to form an opinion, and they don't have time to hate on it because it's not what they wanted, because they didn't even know they needed it.
Yeah, the clientele are changing, and I think everything needs to change with it. We've got, obviously, you mentioned the Game Awards, which is great. All the PAXs now. You got PAX East, PAX West, PAX South, PAX Pluto, PAX Universe, Galaxy, PAX Black,
PAX Australia,
PAX Red, PAX Blue, PAX Y, PAX X.
PAX is basically
PAX Let's Go Pikachu.
Well, PAX is kind of just like what E3 is.
Yeah,
but like, I mean, not as gnarly, but like
it's more.
It's still this beautiful thing though.
But
like,
PAX is more focused on interactivity. That's more focused on the consumers coming and enjoying. It's a convention,
and they get you in, they get you out.
Yeah. Whereas E3 is a trade show.
Yeah.
It is still a trade show. It's sticking to that trade show formula. It's not moving with the times.
Well, E3 started as the trade show that the public wasn't invited to.
Exactly.
So it's not its fault. It's just evolved thing where they've just gone like, oh yeah, the public can come here, and then as the people who visit it, not the people, the vendors are the ones that are pushing it and make more people come here. So if the vendors start going away, E3 is just going to go, okay.
Yeah. No, I think
Let's
E3...
just go back to being a trade show.
They released the... People could buy tickets and come on in, but they didn't do anything to accommodate them. So people are all excited about going to E3, rock up, and realize you spend most of the day standing in lines.
Yeah, they're good at making... They're like Disneyland.
It's not a convention.
They're good at making lines.
So it just got me thinking, what can they do in order to spice up the image and actually get people excited again? Because let's not forget, E3 folded once before, about 12 years ago. And it came back because, well, back then, the major newspapers only really pay attention to video games around E3, or at least they did back then. But also back then, we didn't have Twitch, we didn't have YouTube.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. I think it's just like companies now have enough reach to advertise and put their own games out. People aren't going to be glued to this one moment when E3's on. They're just glued to everything at all times now. So you don't need to announce your stuff at E3. You can announce it whenever you want on your live streaming things and stuff like that.
You can pay influencers to stream your game for a day.
No, influencers, hashtag.
Yeah, but I mean, we mock it because we're jealous. But Ninja got paid $1 million to stream Anthrax Legends. $1 million.
That's such a slow blink, eh?
But the point being, it worked. They paid each of these influencers to do it. Ali A, who's a very successful Fortnite and COD streamer, also got paid. All of his viewers, he does daily videos, all of his viewers for that day who checked in to see that daily video saw him play that. And he sits there and he raves about it because it's a sponsored paid thing. Not that he legally is allowed to. He has to say that it's sponsored, but blah, 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 blah. So anyway, we're getting off the track here. What I want to know is, we've been given the keys to the kingdom. E3's come to Dan and I and said, hey guys, you've got your fingers on the pulse. You run a successful coffee company and you run a successful comic store.
We need to get some advice.
Fix E3 for us.
What would you do?
So what would you do? First things first, Dan.
Well, this is a hard question because I've never been to E3.
Nor have I.
So I assume it's just a massive, massive PAX, but not as good.
No, see, that's where I think you're wrong. I think E3 is a massive time for people within the games media to meet up, to have conferences, to have interviews.
Do they have like things for the public where they can go?
Well, you can see on screen now.
Sit in and watch a panel about how to make a video game.
No.
And stuff like that.
Not to my knowledge.
So they should do that.
Yeah.
They should have guest panels, have a panel on video game creation for beginners. Have it in a hall. Have like, a whole bunch of people on a panel and stuff like that. That is, I mean, that's the bread and butter of most conventions. PAX does that. All of them, stuff like that.
You don't think it's guests?
Guests as well. The thing is, the video game guests, like PAX doesn't have guests, does it? I mean, they do stuff like, yeah, I mean, they could have big streamers there. I mean, imagine.
Well, and you consider
you can meet Ninja.
The creators of PAX
Get your Fortnite.
are guests.
Get
in
your
themselves.
box of Fortnite signed by Ninja.
You can't get a box of Fortnite down.
Yeah, you can.
A million
It costs a
products.
lot of money.
No, you can get the Fortnite game.
Yeah, it costs a lot of money. A lot of money.
Do we
But
live
if
in a
it's
world
in
where
Tokyo.
there is yet a Fortnite pop vinyl of Ninja?
Not yet, but I assume it's on its way.
They can't. Pop can't afford him.
So I agree. You need to have more interactivity in order to draw people in. When
Guys playing basketball would be
I
an
don't think-
activity.
Oh, I missed.
can
What a
you
goon.
can you remember when E3 first announced they were opening the doors and everyone assumed that the tickets would sell out like that, and they didn't.
Yeah, that was enough.
Like they had 5,000 tickets and only 3,000 sold.
They give away 2,000 on a day.
Oh, I don't know, but the point being there isn't enough of a draw unless you're in the games media industry to warrant standing in lines for all that time. So I think they really need to do, as you said, they need guests, they need interactivity, they need maybe
Wrestling.
they need wrestling.
I've been to
cosplay.
I've been to cons with this wrestling. It's great fun to watch.
I've been at cons performing for wrestling.
Oh,
It's great fun to be in there. I once came second in a Kamehameha contest against a guy dressed as Deadpool.
and a wrestling comp.
No, in a Kamehameha contest, but I was the ring announcer for that particular wrestling event. Anyway,
Oh, I just saw a Kingsglaive then.
do you think that they need to open the floor to more retailers? Like, do we need to see those
Does
airplanes
E3
that you throw and they come back to you?
does E3 have a shop section like?
I don't think they do. Again, I think it's purely a media-driven conference center. It's a trade show.
They could basically have a
Sell floor space.
like all the game stops and all that kind of stuff. And
I know, but would you go to it? I mean, obviously you're at a con, so you're going to spend your money. But I mean, is it that type of thing? Do they come just another PAX? We've got enough PAX. What can they do to get people in?
I do like in this area we're watching here. It's like a whole little city that they've created in this room. Like,
Yeah, and let's look at the amount of money they spend there.
yeah, and look,
Like-
there's like 7 people in that room.
Exactly. So each one of those things costs $200,000. If I was PlayStation or if I was EA and I had $200,000 to spend marketing on Ghost of Tsushima or $200,000 to spend on something maybe only 1,000 people would see, I know what I'd go for. These
Yeah.
steps.
Big steps.
Anyway, so in conclusion, we failed because of Dan and I. E3 is now dead.
But hey, E3 did that themselves.
We're going to do some quick viewer questions.
Hmm.
I'll kick it off here from... Oh, we'll go with Natty first. Patreon supporter Natty, who supports us over at Hack the Dino Patreon, patreon.com/hackthedino. For as little as $1 a month, you can ask us questions. You can ask us questions anyway. But you can also get Sell Me a Comic, in which Dan tries to sell me a comic, as well as early access to Dino More, which is our other non-gaming podcast where we just talk about everything and
An
everyone.
extra hour podcast of our beautiful faces, including Braden's face.
Yeah.
Live.
So, Natty asks, who's going to kick more butt in Avengers Endgame? Hawkeye or Ant-Man?
As in, are they trying to fight each other, or
I just think generally who's going to have a tally with all the butts they've kicked.
are those two characters still alive? I can't remember
Yeah,
who died.
no, they're up and...
I reckon, from an early prediction, I
Yep.
think Hawkeye will shoot some arrows.
Yep.
They'll hit their targets, and one or two of them may explode. Maybe there should be some electric ones as well. Ant-Man's probably going to shrink and then get bigger.
Actually,
It can't be him.
Hawkeye is actually Ronin in this movie, so he won't be shooting any arrows.
What is he?
He's Ronin.
He got an undercut.
No, he got a mohawk.
Wait, what's going on?
He's Mohawk Eye.
Has he changed character?
Yeah, he's Ronin.
Who's Ronan?
Well, if you read the comics, comic book shop owner, Ronan was the Hawkeye persona that he took on when the world thought he was dead. So he didn't fire any arrows, but he had really good aim, like Bullseye. So in the movie, He's Ronin because he's still under the government contract from Civil War that he wouldn't go around heroing. That was his thing. So yeah,
he's still just Hawkeye.
he's Hawkeye, but with a mask and no bow and arrow.
Get that one.
And a mohawk.
And a mohawk. Big, bad mohawk.
But in the comics, he had a mask.
Yeah, well, he does in the movie as well, but he takes it off about 30 seconds after you see him.
Because everyone likes his face.
Well, he's a very pretty man.
Jeremy
Yeah.
Renner.
You don't want to hide a face like that.
Yeah, right.
I think that Ant-Man will win, purely because Ant-Man has powers and Hawkeye doesn't.
100% agree on that one as well. And he can, he can throw, what was it in the last week? He can throw a thing of salt at you, and then it gets big and it's interesting.
Yeah.
Where Hawkeye just shoots arrows.
Yep.
And I've watched Arrow.
I haven't. Show's rubbish.
Yeah, I've watched a bit of it. Do you notice in Arrow when
No, I've not seen
whenever they fight, he's fighting everyone. It's just another person that's really good at arrows
Why is he called Green Arrow?
because he wears green.
Is that it? It's not because he's like new?
Yeah, because green around the ears, Arrow.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Stupid. DC's stupid. Go away, DC.
No, The Flash is the best show in the world.
No, it's not.
I love it. No,
Y'all see that Shazam trailer?
No.
Well, we both
Sarah
did.
McLeod asks,
We
Sega
don't-
versus Nintendo. Which were you and why?
Go.
I was Nintendo, surprisingly.
But why?
Why? Because the very first game that I played was Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Entertainment System, and I was legitimately blown away.
Yeah, I actually remember that happening to me as well.
Like the first time you sit down with the controller, and you just what? Like I could feel my brain just opening up.
and you just realize that there was so much of a world ahead of you that
Yeah.
you're gonna do. Like, I don't know if kids get that. They might get it these days with these games. Like, they get excited about what's gonna happen in the game. But in that, it was like it was unknown because you never really. Like before that, you'd had your Colecos and all stuff like that, and they had like one screen.
Yep.
And this had levels that change.
Well, see, I was younger than that, so I never had a ColecoVision or an Atari or anything. The very first video game I saw was Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And I was even more blown away when my friend at the time said, oh, there's other games as well. What? And yeah, I was legitimately mind
None of the other
blown.
ones were really as good as that though, because you had like
Duck Hunt.
yeah, but they were all this one level thing. You know what I mean? They like Duck
No, they
Hunt
weren't.
didn't change.
You had
that much.
Castlevania.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so
As well as numerous other games.
my one, I was
Lord.
I was a bit of everything, but I think I more lean towards, especially in the Mega Drive days, I lean towards more Mega Drive because I was always about
Losing.
I was always about violence.
And nothing would make you more violent than playing one of those awful consoles.
So I wanted blood in my games. I wanted like rad like electronica and stuff like that.
That sounded like this.
Yeah, dude, the Streets of Rage was wicked. Yeah, anyhow.
That's your games.
Notice I didn't pay your games out.
Yeah, it's because you can't.
Well, I could have. Man-child.
Casey Staton says, what's the one thing on your bucket list you really want to do?
Ooh, what do you want to do?
Honestly, I really want to be in a musical.
Wow.
Hey, can you sing?
Not at all.
I really wanted to be in a band when I was a kid, but after being in 3 bands, I realized I cannot do it.
Can you play a musical instrument?
Nah. I thought I could be the singer, and I can't do that either.
I think we found
That's
the
not what I
one
want-
thing that's holding us back.
No, a bucket list thing. I really want to go to China. I haven't been to China yet, and I want to go to all those places where all my martial arts films, where Ip Man and all that kind of things. Yeah. I don't even know where they are. I'd have to research it. But that rural China kind of like beautiful, green, lush place.
That was mine. One of mine.
Have you been to China?
No, but Japan.
Oh, but you've done that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of times. Trained there. Saw all these.
Yeah, the training ones are
places.
good. I like that. You went to Japan to train your
Done it a
martial
couple of
arts.
times. Yep. Got a broken rib. Kept on fighting. Great times.
Yeah.
Couldn't breathe. Tried to climb Mount Fuji the next day. Could not hold any air. That was fun.
Compound fracture. Just kept going.
Yeah. In the movies when you see someone get kicked and they like go flying backwards with their arms and legs out,
Did you do
it
that?
was legitimately that. Boof. And then I get up and Ben, are you okay? And it's yep. Oh, it hurts so bad, but you just keep on training.
I haven't done skydiving either. I reckon I'm just still too scared, but the idea of it seems great.
Anyway, I will be in a musical. If we ever become so big that we can put on a legitimate live show in a theatre, we're going to do like a live singing
Yeah, I'm
type
never
thing.
doing that.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, I've already got the songs picked out. It's great. I'm going to do it. Braden, you can sing, can't you?
Brandon's in 10 musicals.
I've been in school musicals.
Yeah, so it's one up on me. I've been
Yeah.
in school plays.
Fair.
Never done any of those things.
Mm.
I want to own a comic shop.
One day, Dan.
I want to be a published author.
Joseph Santora asks, what does Nintendo need to do to maintain momentum of the Switch? Now, I thought this was a good one for you, Dan, because you're constantly crapping on the Switch. In your opinion,
Literally.
what? It's a bit far.
I don't
if
know
you
why
ask
it
me.
doesn't work anymore.
What does it need to do to make you pick it back up and go, okay?
The games.
Yep.
Basically, I mean, I always rag on the Nintendo app. I still like it. I just need, like, Breath of the Wild. Like, that game was an amazing game. I'm actually finding, like, and I'm buying all these games because my Switch, I only buy Nintendo IP.
Yep.
Because, like, usually if it's a game, I can get a better version of it on something else, which is just the truth.
Yep.
So I always buy the Nintendo IPs, and I'm looking for another Breath of the Wild. Like, something that holds me in. So I got, like, the Donkey Kongs, the Marios. I finished the Marios, I finished all that and stuff like that, but I never got that feeling of loving that game.
To be fair, Breath of the Wild is a genre-defining game. So
Yeah,
the
but
chances of something else coming like that again for all...
But like with Metro, I got that with Metro. I've got that with other games. So it just needs more of those A-grade, like AAA games, like that Zelda one was. Where I find like the Marios that they bring out and the Donkey Kongs are still not their best effort. Like they could, why not do a Mario game that's as good as Zelda? Like,
Well, I think they tried to, but I don't think they're... Like, this Mario Odyssey was very much a sequel to Mario 64, which is one of their most successful games of all time.
yeah, but it just wasn't hard enough. It was pretty easy. And
You
it
do
just,
realise it's an Nintendo, right?
yeah, well, they still have to be hard.
Give it a setting.
What do you mean? NESs are the hardest consoles in the world.
That's true. Yeah, Silver Surfer game.
Apart from PC engines, those things are brutal.
Oh, but
They
lovely.
don't even have like
PC Engine. Oh, love you.
Yeah, I love them as well. We agree on a console.
That's
One of my
freaky.
favorites.
It's-
I can see one from here.
Yeah, no, it's one of the best consoles ever. I was talking to a friend of the show, Pixel, before, talking about PC engines and how the game cartridges are actually cards that people used to swap at school and everything.
And like you never those carts. Grab that one there.
I was about to.
Like, we can show them. So PC Engine for the people they never came out here. They're like the what are they like?
It's
I'll grab the game out. So
that's the actual console.
This is the whole console, and this is back in the day. This is the bridge between NES and.
It came out
Super
between
NES?
So so Super Nintendo was 32-bit. The NES was 16-bit. This is the NES was 8-bit. This is 16.
So these are the games.
For those of you listening to the podcast,
Yeah,
it's
so
a
these are just like credit card size.
Yep.
They're like it's just solid plastic. It's just got this little strip here, and that's the whole game. And this has more on like as much on it as like any of the games at the time. So this thing is solid. There's no working parts to it. It's like a solid state, solido, and like. This will be around at the end of like time, eh? This
Yep.
thing's like never gonna like. It's just a block hard plastic as well, like. And I'm just like, and so that's the games.
So that was the card reader that you played a majority of the games on, but it also came in a Duo, which had another piece to the side, which is what I've got at home. Yeah, which had a CD-ROM, and you could play CD-ROM games as well as ones with cartridges. So you had the best of both worlds. You had that whole PlayStation type CD games that had motion capture and whatnot, as well as the cartridge based games. And the Street Fighter 2 version on the PC Engine is quite possibly the best port of the arcade. It's absolutely awesome. So PC Engine, look it up.
Yeah,
It's
so
a great console.
And those games are on like R-Type,
Oh, amazing.
Adventure Island, is that? With
Yeah.
Wonder Boy.
There's a cool
Bonk.
game, 1941. That game with the vertical screen. You're a plane and you just go backwards, left and right shooting. They've got one of them, but you're a freaking dragon. and you're a dragon firing fire and all these things flying towards you, and you upgrade and get
They've got like
multiple
super
heads.
ghouls and ghosts on it and stuff like that.
They've
Like,
got a game where you're a bunny and you go to the greyhound races and you bet on greyhounds. And it's all in Japanese, and I don't know what I have to do.
anyway, we got no footage for this because this was ad lib, so let's continue on.
Okay, lastly, Nina Slatter asks, are video game art?
Video game art.
Thanks, Nina. Yes, it's an art form.
Yeah, it's definitely an art form. Like, it's like anything else that you create where people work really, really hard on a creative thing. It's art.
And
Like,
tying back into one of the previous questions, on the bucket list, something else on my bucket list, which I really hope I have the money to do one day, is get like an actual warehouse where I can put all my Nintendo systems and my friends can put their video game systems and they can be there and people can come and look and read about it and look at the history of these games and the consoles and they can actually play them. Because a lot of these
they're all
things,
hooked up.
yeah, they'll all be hooked up, they'll all be working, and it'll be a permanent fixture.
Is it going to be like Warhol Studio, but like Ben's
Kind of.
arcade?
Yeah, something like
I
that.
actually remembered my bucket list now that you said that. I had some time to think about it. Cause, one thing I've always wanted to do in my life is create something like a book or a character and that, and it's popular enough to get action figures made of it.
Oh, yeah.
An action figure of something you've created. Like, and I've always wanted that. Like,
Do you know what the monkey paw would be? If you had a monkey paw and you made the wish? Oh, I just want some figures made of my my book.
what would happen?
You'd get figures, but they'd be pop toys.
Oh, man. Ugh.
Time for Dan versus the world.
Cat hair in my mouth.
Hello.
Oh, Brayden's here.
Hey, Brayden.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
Okay, so Dan versus the World is a game that we play in which I have 3 songs from video game history. Appeared anywhere in any video game in all of our history.
Have you put your light on, Brayden?
I
Yeah,
will
my light is on.
play the
Excellent.
first 5 seconds of the first song, and then Dan and Brayden take it in turns to try and guess what that song is from. What game? Full title. After the 5 guesses, they have the opportunity to guess. 5 questions, they have the opportunity to guess. I know what I'm saying. Shut up. All right, let's go.
Nailed
First
it.
song. Here we go. Dan, question number 1.
Is it, I think I haven't thought of my question, is what genre of game is this?
It's a side-scrolling platform. Brayden, question number 1.
Who's the developer?
It was Konami.
Cool.
Dan.
Konami.
Mm.
What, Kojima. That's Kojima.
Yeah, I
not
know.
Konami.
That's who I'm representing.
Oh, man, I got a cat hair in my mouth. It's really annoying me and I can't get it out.
Question number 2.
What is, so we've had, do we have a console?
No, you have a nice console.
What is it originally on?
The Nintendo Entertainment System.
NES.
Brayden, question number 2.
NES.
Right in your wheelhouse. If you were
Yeah.
born 20 years early.
If I was a little bit older, a little bit taller. God. What's the main like enemy type?
As in
Like
Like-
the general bad guy.
general bad guy? Like bats, spiders, spooky things.
Okay.
Dan,
Bats and spiders and spooky things?
Yep.
What are you?
you're a man.
A mighty good man?
Sure.
I'm
Brayden.
gonna guess.
Okay. If you get this wrong, Dan gets the point.
I know, but like I want to guess.
All right.
Is it Castlevania?
It's Castlevania!
Man.
Purely
Wow.
because we had it in the show, and I didn't want to ask if we had it in the show. I was just going to assume.
So that brings Dan, you're on 12. The world is on 14. Oh dear. So Brandon's
Rubbish.
representing the world, by the way. All right, here we go. Song number 2. Dan, question number 1.
What genre?
Genre.
What?
It's a RPG. Brayden.
Have we mentioned it in the show?
Oh, don't think so. No.
Okay.
Dan, question number 2.
What is you?
What is you?
What is art?
What are?
Our game art. What
Are
is you?
you?
You're a boy. You're a teenage boy. Teenage boy. Braden, question number 2.
Are
Are you wearing eyeliner?
No.
Does it look like he's wearing eyeliner?
He's got glasses on.
I have very long eyelashes, so like, I just constantly looks like I'm wearing eyeliner.
And that beanie looks like one of those makeup rings to hold your hair back when you're doing your makeup.
Yep, I can see that.
And
Anyway,
Just a little
to the people on the
audio.
On the podcast, Braden's wearing eyeliner. Picture it. Love it. Braden, question number 2.
Who developed it? you say that?
Atlas.
Ooh.
Dan.
Can I hear it again?
You can.
More of it?
More of it? Yep, but Braden will also hear it.
Nah, it didn't help me at all. It's gonna keep
It's
it.
actually very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Keep that on at the end of the show.
Braden, number 3.
It's part of a series.
But what do we got so far? I'm not concentrating. What are our
Atlas.
answers?
Atlas.
RPG.
RPG.
Teenage
Atlas?
boy.
Teenage Boy. Atlas is a development game
okay.
developer. So what was your question, Braden?
Yep.
Good.
Series.
Series. Yes, it is. Dan, question number 4.
What is the what was it? Do you know what it was originally on?
Yeah, it was originally on PlayStation 3. I
Which
believe
one's 3?
PlayStation 3 is the one that came before
It
4.
was the third one.
Yeah, right.
Braden.
Did he just say it's the third one?
And I said it's the one that came before 4.
God. Okay. What number in the series is it?
You sneaky bastard. 5. Dan, question number 5. Let's go through the hints. It's an RPG made by Atlas. You're a teenage boy.
I think it was on PS4, not PS3.
No, I'm pretty sure it came PS3 first.
Is it Persona 5?
It's Persona 5!
I'm
game
pretty
you
sure
borrowed.
that's PS4.
Yeah, that
Really?
is. Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
But
I
that's
thought it
what
came
threw
PS-
me because you borrowed off me the other day and I don't have any of my PS3 games out.
I'm gonna Google it.
Google it, because I'm pretty sure it came to PS3 first.
Not 5, 4 did.
Oh, maybe I'm getting mixed up with 4.
No, was
And 4 was on the Vita.
4 even? Yeah, 4 was on the Vita. Was it even on the PS3?
I don't know. Who cares? Dan's on 13, the world's on 14.
Apparently, it is on PS3.
Yes, thank you.
Wikipedia says it at least.
Yeah, well, when's
Whoa.
Wikipedia ever been wrong?
It has-
Never. Correct.
It probably hasn't.
Okay.
I want my webcam.
We're just
to
seeing
focus
white.
on it. I
Braden,
know. I
put
want
it
it
down.
to focus on it.
Don't worry, I'm right.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Song number 3. I feel very good. I feel very vindicated. I was being ganged up on there, and I was right.
Good work.
Yay me. Point for me, everyone. Here we go.
Keep going. I want to hear the next song.
Oh, I wanted to hear more.
Dan, question number 1.
What is... I'm trying to think of a question we haven't asked. What is the main weapon that you use?
Your big old fists.
Fisto.
What number is it in a series?
Okay, number 1.
It's a hard one to remember.
No, there's a caveat here.
I think I know the caveat, so it's all right.
What does a caveat mean?
It means like a cliff note. There's
Like fish
more
eggs?
to the answer.
So it's a lie.
No, it just needs to be
what's,
It's
expounded.
not
What-
the whole truth.
What is the well, who's it made by?
Nintendo.
Oh.
Braden, question number 2.
What console?
Game Boy Advance.
Ooh, that's a bit different.
Dan. Question number 3.
I know what this game is, but I don't know what it's called. I'm trying to remember. I'm just like stalling for time just to see if I can remember its whole name.
Well, it's a good thing we're not running horrendously over time at the moment.
Are we?
Solid
Yeah.
4 minutes.
I'm just going to try and guess it because I actually can't remember the name.
All right.
Is it Donkey Kong Country?
Yes!
Oh wow.
Game
Yes,
Boy
it is.
Advance?
Yep.
Yes.
Correct. I would have accepted yeah, because we already clarified it was for the Game Boy Advance. I would have accepted Donkey Kong Country.
I was just going to say Donkey Kong, and then And then I was like, oh, it's called Country.
Incidentally, there was 2 versions of this game, like for the Game Boy Advance and the Game Boy. They were both called different things.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, how about that? Anyway, we've been Hack the Dino at a fortnightly nonsense variety show.
Wait, what's the score?
14-all. Holy crap. 14-all.
I have caught up after a terrible streak of
Well, you
luck.
swept it last week. That was really impressive.
After a sweep before me.
No one likes a poor winner, Braden.
Ouch.
No one likes Braden. That's the saying, isn't it?
This is episode 66 of Hack the Dino. I'm Ben, that's Dan. You can catch us on YouTube, where we put up videos other than this. You should go and check them out. And you should give us a subscribe as well. Leave a comment. We love comments. Interact with us. We crave it. We have egos. Feed our egos. Make the egos big and strong so they can knock down houses with their big old fists.
Like Donkey Kong.
We're also on Twitch.
Or Wreck-It Ralph.
We'll be back at Twitch soon. And on SoundCloud, Spotify, all your iPod apps.
I love my iPod.
Crack out your iPod. Get those headphones. Maybe a Discman. Listen to our sweet tunes.
We also bring the show out on tape for all you Walkman likers out there.
And if you've got a pile of sticks, you can listen to it on Smokescreen.
Oh, I love Smokescreen.
Smoke Signals. I messed up that joke.
Ah.
No one liked me.
I thought Smokescreen, you're being really clever, that it was an app that uses smoke signals. Like, Smokescreen.
It's not a bad idea.
Cool.
Someone liked that.
Tearful's online.
We'll be back in the next fortnight with more exciting times. And just before we go, we have got another live show coming up very, very soon.
Live as in we have a studio audience. Not live as in like...
So we do it every year. It was episode 50 was our last live show recorded in the comic book store with a live audience. We're going to do it again for episode 75. And then, guess what? Episode 100. We're going to do a big old shindig. But that's probably... Yeah.
Is that a musical?
That's probably a... Oh!
No,
Calm down.
Ooh.
Calm down.
We're gonna hire the
Sydney Opera House.
Her Majesty's.
We could hire the Mercury and then have us down doing the show, everyone in the audience, and then filming it up onto the big screen behind us.
Oh, man. Hack the Dino, hackthedino.com or youtube.com/hackthedino. Drop a like, a subscribe, tell your friends. We'll love you for a very
Check
long
us out
time.
on Patreon so we can do that crazy live show.
Yeah. Patreon.
Yeah, support us on Patreon.
We're way over time. Bye-bye.
I love you.
Mwah.